Well, the man you're about to meet is Bryce Hill. He's a Queensland paramedic who has just been through a month few of us can imagine. It began on Sunday, the 12th of September, when the father of two received a phone call from his brother with the heartbreaking news their mother, Lynette, only had days to live. Desperate to be by her bedside, Bryce travelled from restriction-free Brisbane to lockdown Melbourne. He made it, just Lynette passing away 3 days later.
Thank you, Mum. We will all miss you.
A scaled-back funeral due to COVID restrictions should have been the last of the pain Bryce had to endure. But it wasn't. His mission to get home, long and painful.
All I wanted to do was come home, hug my boys.
Days turned into weeks. Queensland Health telling the frontline worker he didn't qualify for an exemption, despite the health system itself buckling under growing pressure. It would take until last Wednesday for there to finally be some good news. Bryce had been selected to take part in Queensland's at-home quarantine trial.
He's had a bit on, hasn't he? Bryce joins us now from his home in Brizzy. Bryce, good morning to you. It's been a really dreadful few weeks, hasn't it, for you? How does it feel to be finally home?
Karl, good morning. I'm extremely relieved to be home. I never thought that hearing the rain on the tin roof last night would feel so good.
And so how did this come about? Because, I mean, you spent a lot of time trying to get home. How did you find out that you'd been accepted to take part in this trial?
I received an email from Queensland Health saying that I'd been selected based on the exemption category that I put in to get home. And then I just had to wait for the border pass to be issued, which was issued 2 days ago.
And how is that working now in home quarantine? What are the things you have to do? What's the process?
Okay, I've got to have my mobile phone right next to me, which it is at the moment, and they let me know at random times that I have to get in contact with them very quickly, within 10 minutes. Obviously, there's no one in home quarantine. If anyone lives here with me, they all have to quarantine. I was lucky my partner and my boys are at the brother-in-law's place. And I'm here for 14 days. Do not pass go, do not collect $200.
And how are you feeling about that?
Oh, look, I'm absolutely relieved to be back at home. I never thought being an Australian, it's been a surreal experience. I never thought being Australian and travelling interstate would be such a ordeal.
I'm with you. I mean, even yesterday with that, we were talking yesterday about that person who tested positive in Brisbane and then was placed on a plane to come home to Sydney and tested positive after that they got home. But it's like, do we live in Berlin? I mean, it's just got to the stage where I think people are just getting really, really sick of it. However, there's still a process to go through. 24 hours in, do you see home quarantine as a way of working down the track for everyone?
I don't think it'll work for everyone, but there are people that it can work very well for, and I believe it could help a lot of people. As I was queued up last night and I saw all the families coming back with little kids and obviously everyone with their own circumstances, I realised that there's going to have to be alternate pathways that it can be utilised for everyone to get home, but we can't have everyone not being able to do what they have to do. My situation came up very quickly, and I had, in my opinion, no choice, but I had to go. And there'll be others that will be following in the same footsteps. And there has to be an alternative to putting their lives on hold for these sort of experiences.
Can I ask another question? Just a logistics question. Say, for example, if Ali wanted to go with her family to visit another family at Christmas in Queensland, and they were going to go into a home with other people, does that family have to quarantine for that 2-week period, or can the family move out? How does that all work?
My understanding is any occupants of the house must quarantine for the 14 days.
Right.
So I guess if Ali did that, that would be a really tight Christmas for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I was planning on doing it at Karl's house up there, so it might be too much of a test of the friendship, that one.
I think 2
I
weeks...
hope he's double vaxxed.
Yeah, no, we're double
Yeah.
vaxxed. We're double
But
vaxxed.
did it surprise you that it was so hard to get home? Because you are double vaxxed. You're a paramedic. We know the situation, even the hospitals in Queensland at the moment, we've seen ramping and queues, what have you. I would have thought that you would have been a priority to try to get home to Queensland.
I would not like to be the person making the decision in Queensland Health about who is more required than another person. But yeah, I guess in the health that I thought we might be more in demand. Yes.
Really good to talk to you, mate. I know you went through a lot to get where you are. All the very best for the next couple of weeks, and enjoy what's coming for you. You'll enjoy freedom so much. Thanks for your time.
Thanks,
today.
guys. Much
I think
appreciated.
it's going to have to get to the point, don't you think, where, I mean, if they're looking at in New South Wales, I know Queensland's got to get the vaccinations up, right? But as soon as they do that, and when it's well above 80%, same for Victoria, same for everywhere, there may be a quarantine period in Queensland.
But it can't be 14 days.
It'll be
know.
7 days if you're double vaxxed, and I think
Well,
that
does it
makes
even need
sense.
to be 7 days? Can it not be you get a negative test beforehand, when you arrive you quarantine until you get a second negative test, and then you're free?
I'm not sure.
If you're double vaxxed.
Dr. Allison, I'm not sure.
Oh no, so I just gave you the answer. Yeah, so I gave you the answer.
Also,
That's how we're
I've
gonna go.
got something else I need to see you
Oh
about.
yeah, what have you got? Let me have a look.
Yeah.
Let me,
Look at that.
Dr. Ali. Oh no, you got to get straight to the hospital for that, my friend.
What
Boy,
is
that's
that?
bad.
Oh, I don't know.
That's bad.
If you've got a problem, an ailment or a rash, send the photo in
Okay,
to
not a
Ali,
rash.
and Ali will diagnose it.
Anything
And
else?
she'll make sure you get the good stuff.